I wanted to show you an alert system that I put on my pump to let me know how often it's running, and to also let me know if the pressure gets too low, like if I have a totally burst line or the pump goes out or something like that. It actually saved me the other day. A line broke in my barn and my barn was getting flooded with water, but I noticed that the pump was cycling over and over, and so I knew I needed to do something about it. Now, there are way more sophisticated systems than this that'll actually send notifications to your phone and all that kind of stuff. This is a low-tech way to do this, but it works and it's easy. Now, you're dealing with some voltages here that are strong enough to kill you. So if you're not familiar with electricity and know the safety factors on that, then you shouldn't attempt this project. You do this at your own risk. For those of you that are familiar with it, I thought this might be an idea that maybe would help you like it helped me. Okay, so the way this works is I've got a relay on the wall right here, and this relay is tripped by the pump. This is the pressure switch that runs the pump, and when it activates the lines that go to the pump, I actually brought a line off of there and it comes over to this relay, which is a 220 volt AC relay. And so when this relay is tripped, it then sends a signal up here to a terminal block, and then from this terminal block it goes out to an LED on the outside of the building where I can actually see it. So that LED is what alerts me. Now, it's just run off of a 5-volt phone transformer. And so what you would need to do is get you an indicator light. And I'll list some in the description of this video for you in case you're interested in that. But say in this instance, you would get a 5-volt indicator light that's a bright light. You mount it on the outside so that what happens with this is you've got 5 volts that comes from your transformer. All right. You send one leg to that indicator lamp. Then the other leg of the 5 volts is going to go down to your relay and get switched by your relay and back up to this terminal block, and then it goes to the other side of your LED and your LED lights up. So every time your pump comes on, it triggers this relay, which then lights that LED, and so every time your pump runs, you can see that visually on the outside of the building. Now the other part of this is I have a pressure line coming off the side, and I got that little valve on there in case something past it breaks. I can shut off that water line and keep it from flooding my room in here. But so then that pressure line goes up here, it tees off because over here I've got a gauge so I can tell what the pressure is, and then the other side of the T goes over to this, which is just another pump pressure switch. And I use that because you can get these really cheap. They're usually about $20. I'll list one in the description for you. I set this pump to come on below 40 psi. The water pressure gets below 40 because it's normally set at 80. So if it gets down below 40, I've got a problem. There's something wrong with this system. And this will trip, just like it's going to turn on the pump, but rather than have it turn on the pump, it's just going to turn on an indicator lamp, and that indicator lamp is on the outside of the building so I can see it from the house. So when the green one comes on, I know the pump's running. When the red one comes on, I know I got a problem and I need to come figure out what's going on. All of this system right here is just 5 volts DC, so there's really not much of a danger to it. I do have a cover that goes over this, and then this down here is always got this cover on it. The line coming over here will actually carry 220 volts when the pump is running, so that one is very dangerous, high enough voltage to kill you. The one coming off of there though, that's just 5 volts being switched and going up there to that terminal block. That little building you see down there with the red door, that's where my pump is, and so it's probably 200 yards from the house. And from up here, I can see those indicator lights, and that tells me if my pump's coming off and on every time it comes off and on, because normally I'm not running stuff unless maybe some sprinklers, and I shouldn't see it running. So that tells me if I have a leak somewhere. And then I'm able to see that red one that tells me I've got a more serious problem going. Well, I hope that was somewhat clear. I hope you could understand exactly what I did here. I will list parts in the description. Again, y'all, if you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with these high voltages. You can hurt yourself. In my instance, this has saved me a couple of times already. All right, well, I hope this was interesting to you. Thank you for watching.